Hi, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Our devotion for today, June 28th, is from St. Luke, chapter 20, verses 19 through 26. Verse 19, the scribes and the chief priests sought to lay hands on him at that very hour, for they perceived that he had told this parable against them, but they feared the people. So you see, the lawyers and the high priests were angry with Jesus because they felt slighted by what he taught and how he talked about them in front of the crowd of Israelites. They wanted to arrest Jesus at that very moment, but they feared the people would riot, and they didn't want that to happen either. So they waited to try and get Jesus to preach either insurrection against the Romans or to turn the Jewish people against him with his teachings. Verse 20. So they watched him and sent spies who pretended to be sincere, that they might catch him in something he said, so as to deliver him up to the authority and jurisdiction of the governor. So, Scripture says they sent spies into the crowds that listened to Jesus and followed him. They pretended to be followers of Jesus themselves, but they really hoped to catch him in a trap, to trick him into saying something wrong or that the people wouldn't like, so that Jesus could be arrested and turned over to the Roman governor Pilate. Verse 21. So they asked him, "Teacher, we know that you speak and teach rightly and show no partiality, but truly teach the way of God. Is it lawful for us to give tribute to Caesar or not?" On one occasion, we're told that the spies, are there. And I want you to hear the hypocrisy and the lies in this statement that they say. "Teacher, we know that you speak and teach rightly." Well, if that was the case, they wouldn't be plotting against him, would they? They wouldn't get offended by what he had to say about them, would they? He goes on. And so no partiality, and he shows no partiality, but truly teach the way of God. Again, all right, let's stop here again. If they really believe this, they wouldn't be spying and tricking and trying to trap or plot against Jesus, because he would be telling the truth if they really believed. Then they ask a question that they hope will accomplish their goal of Jesus saying something that the people don't like, or saying something that the Romans would consider insurrection. They ask him this question: is it lawful for us, meaning the Jews, to give tribute to Caesar or not? Okay, so really it's a question on taxes. If Jesus says no, then the Romans will want him for insurrection. If Jesus says yes to the tax question, then the people will get mad because the Roman taxes are so high. So they think they have a no-lose situation here. Verse 23, but he perceived their craftiness, and he said to them, all right, my friends, Jesus can't be fooled. He knows what's in their hearts, just as he knows what's in our hearts. He knows what they're trying to do. He knows what we're trying to do when we try to hide things or minimize things that we do that are sins. He knows our hearts. Verse 24 and following, show me a denarius. Whose likeness and inscription does it have? Jesus said. And they said, Caesar's. And then he said to them, then render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. And they were not able in the presence of the people to catch him in what he said, but marveling at his answer, they became silent. So Jesus asked to see a piece of Roman money. He asks whose picture and inscription is on the money. And they tell him that it's Caesar's. So Jesus responds to their question by saying that people should give to Caesar all the things that are Caesar's. Well, that would be money in this case. So, pay the taxes, give to Caesar what's Caesar's. But then he also says that they should give to God the things that are God's. So here, Jesus is teaching peace. He's teaching that they should give the things that belong to Caesar back to its owner, and the things that belong to God, they should give to God. their heart, their soul, their worship, the way they live their life. There's no preaching of insurrection, no angering of the crowd, just a truth that the people can live with. My friends, we too are to give to our government the things that are our government's. We can always try through government to minimize the amount we have to give. But if the law calls for us to give it, then we need to give it. Likewise, we're to give God the things that belong to God. Our heart, our soul, our worship, our love, our trust. Are you failing to do either? Failing to do both? Then you're not listening to Jesus, and you're either cheating the government or you're cheating God, or you're cheating both. Will any lasting good come from cheating either the government or cheating God? Most probably no. And you'll put yourself in danger each time you cheat either. So give to the government what is the government's, and give and live this life in peace with them. Give to God that which is His, and live your life in peace with God, whether it's here in this world or in the next. Go in peace, serve the Lord.